Yo, how's it going, everyone? This is Mitchell Mander here, and welcome to another review of the Boruto manga, where we're covering Chapter 67 in today's review. And in our last chapter, Boruto was, quote-unquote, killed by Kawaki. We get the continued battle between Kawaki and Code, also dealing with the aftermath of last month's chapter. So, how was the chapter overall? Well, before I get into the chapter review, I just want to say if you're new to the channel and you like this type of content, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. It'd be pretty awesome if you would do that. But anyways, let's talk about today's chapter. So basically, in this chapter, we have Code and Kawaki facing off. And Code isn't quite happy because Kawaki killed his precious sacrifice, so obviously he wants to take Kawaki down. But Kawaki's so fixated on Code trying to take down Naruto, basically tells Code that, yeah, anybody that tries to threaten the Hokage will be taken down. I'll even kill my brother. That means, yeah, I'll be taking you down. Also, the person that you're communicating with that wants to see me so much, if they're against the Hokage, I will take them down as well. And yeah, to say that Kawaki got a huge power boost when he awakened his karma again, or reawakened his karma, is an understatement, because he went from basically being fodder at the beginning of this whole conflict to basically dominating against Code. He was pressuring Momoshiki possessed Boruto too, so Kawaki is possibly the strongest character in the series right now, at least until Code gets his limiters off. But yeah, he basically pressures him as Naruto over here is freaking out, seeing his dead son on the ground, basically begging Shikamaru to tell him that it's a dream. Yes, and Code actually released Shikamaru as he was trying to get away, but Kawaki actually shrunk those belts of his so that he couldn't escape. Yeah. Now, while Shikamaru tries to convince Naruto to get back in battle, Naruto over here, he's just in absolute disbelief. And I have to say, Naruto is absolutely in character here. I know some people weren't really that pleased with how Naruto was acting in today's chapter, but I have to say, it's in his character. If you remember back in the Shippuden days when he learned that Sasuke was going to be put to death, he had a panic attack and he was begging the Raikage not to kill Sasuke. So Naruto reacting this way, it makes total sense. It's a very human reaction to what just happened. He's essentially ignoring his duties as Hokage, and he's acting as a father in this moment. So I don't know. It's just me. I think that Naruto is in character here. But yeah, Shikamaru is done dealing with Naruto's crap here, and he's basically telling him to wake up and snap out of it. They have to deal with Code now. We need to take him down. Kawaki has the upper hand, so let's get in battle and face off against him. But at this point, Naruto has shut his stage mode off. So yeah, Naruto's not going to be helping out Kawaki in any way at this point. But anywho, Kawaki is dominating Code, and he's basically about to finish him off by blasting him off like he did with Garo way back when. And just as he's about to do that, Code actually comes up with something rather brilliant. He actually pulls Damon out of the belt that's on his head. And Damon, immediately waking up, reflects Kawaki's blast and basically reflects it on himself. So Kawaki ends up getting the brunt force of the attack instead of Code. So Damon ended up saving Code's life here. And he's super confused. And Shikamaru sees this, he's like, what the heck? Who is that child? Anyways, Damon wants to fight, but Code's like, yeah, we're done here, so just go back to your sister. And Ada is definitely not pleased with this. She hasn't really been pleased with Code this entire time, so, yeah. Anyways, Code manages to escape, but Shikamaru brings up the fact that, yeah, we gotta figure out what we're gonna do with Kawaki now. Because, well, yeah, he kinda killed Boruto. I mean, we were gonna have to deal with Momoshiki at some point, probably, and Boruto basically did it to help us, but at the same time, it's pretty clear that Kawaki will do anything to basically further his goals, or accomplish his goals. Which Naruto, despite the fact that Kawaki killed his own son, wasn't shunning Kawaki away. He's like, what are you telling me to do? Do you want us to just get rid of him? Because at this point, family is what he needs the most. Yeah, and I have to say, I know some people were a little conflicted here, but I still think that Naruto is acting in character, because he realizes what happened. It was something that Boruto and Kawaki came up with themselves. Even though he's devastated that he supposedly lost his son, he's still not going to shun Kawaki away. And that's when Boruto actually wakes up and tells everybody, yeah, who was killed? Who exactly was killed? Not me, bro. But yeah, that huge gaping hole that was in Boruto's chest, yeah, it's gone, and it seems like there's a karma mark, or at least a big one, that replaced most of it. And he basically rips his shirt off, and you can see like a new pattern that's basically been formed on his body because of this attack. And that's when time freezes and Momoshiki appears, and this is where things are pretty interesting. So, yeah, if Boruto would have died here, Momoshiki would have died as well. His spirit would have basically faded into the afterlife, and he'd be like Ishiki. He'd never be able to come back to the world of the living ever again. However, what Momoshiki did here was he essentially saved Boruto's life. At this point, Boruto was 82% complete. So 82% of Momoshiki's data had been compressed into Boruto's body. So what Momoshiki did to save Boruto was he used that remaining 18% in order to basically create a new part of his heart, part of his lungs, because both of them pretty much got destroyed. He also lost a huge amount of blood, so basically he repaired that huge hole in his chest, repairing his damaged organs, replacing the lost blood that he had lost. And yeah, that 18% that Momoshiki was going to use it on Boruto to revive him, and as a result, Momoshiki can no longer resurrect. So this solves the issue at hand, so yeah. Although Boruto himself thinks, hey, I won. I defeated you. You can't resurrect anymore, so yeah, too bad for you. But Momoshiki over here is like, yeah, so don't get so cocky, brat. I actually came here to give you a warning. Because of this, despite the fact that the 18% was used to resurrect you, and I can no longer resurrect myself, you're 100% an Otsutsuki now. You're fully extracted, which means you're basically completely ripe to be fed to the Ten Tails. So once Code figures that out, he's going to come after you, and that's going to be the end of you. So I'm just warning you right now. And even though Boruto's over here like, well, that's a good thing, because I'll just take out the frickin' Ten Tails myself. I can figure out where it's at. But yeah, Momoshiki's like, yeah, you might want to be careful, because I'm pretty sure Code's going to figure that out pretty soon, especially since Ada has the ability of clairvoyance, so that's going to be a bit of an issue. Now, Boruto actually asked Momoshiki a question here. He's like, when you told me that my blue eyes would take everything from me, was it this event right here? I already died once, so I'm pretty sure this is what you were referring to, which Momoshiki basically laughs at him. He's like, yeah, no bro. That's not it, and even I don't know how exactly it's going to happen, but that moment is coming very soon. The time is at hand. So yeah, it's coming up. That's pretty interesting to know. That whatever's going to happen to Boruto when he loses everything, yeah, it's coming very, very soon. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens next. But anyways, Code and Ada are back. They're just chilling, just talking. And obviously Ada's not really too happy with Code, but she's also asking him, what are you going to do? How are you going to get your limiters taken off? And Code over here is like, yeah, I've already got something in mind. Seems like he might have actually strapped a belt on a Shikamaru. And I'm wondering, since we can't see it in this chapter, I'm wondering if maybe it was one of the very small ones that Kawaki actually shrunk or something like that. Not really certain yet, but that's pretty much where the chapter comes to an end. Now, overall, I thought this was a pretty good chapter. I'm definitely glad that this whole Kawaki and Boruto versus Code battle is finally over. I do feel like this one dragged on a little bit too long. I think it's been going on for almost 6 months now. Yeah, I'm just glad it's finally over. It had some interesting twists towards the end, and I'm expecting the anime to make this whole battle a lot better than the manga has presented it. But overall, it's been a decent battle. It basically sets up a lot of things, and it solves the whole issue of Boruto resurrecting in Momoshiki. Because the one thing that I had a problem with people is that they're talking about how the time skip was happening soon. And I'm like, well, how is the time skip going to happen when Boruto is literally about to turn into Momoshiki? Those pills were only delaying it a little bit. I mean, they could have explained it where the pills delayed for 3 years or something like that. But it's pretty clear a couple chapters ago that the pills weren't exactly working as intended. So yeah, I'm just glad that that's been resolved. We're going to have to figure out what we're going to have to do with Kawaki now, and obviously the conflict with Code is far from over. Seems like he's going to be making an appearance at some point. But now we're going to have to figure out what we're going to have to do. Boruto's going to have to tell everybody what happened, and that Momoshiki is no longer resurrecting in his body. Maybe he goes to see Amado and Sumire, and Katasuke or Sakura or somebody to get checked out or something like that. But yeah, considering Code was actually giving Boruto and Kawaki a hard time in the beginning of this battle, I'm curious to see how strong he's going to be with his limiters off. I'm curious to see how strong Boruto is going to be now that he's 100% an Otsutsuki. Is he going to be completely like overpowering everybody? Is Boruto and Kawaki just way too OP at this point? Like, can Sarada and Mitsuki even compete with them in any capacity now? I know Mitsuki has stage mode, which hasn't even been shown off in the manga yet. And Sarada really needs to unlock her Mangekyo at this point. But yeah, it really just feels like the Boruto and Kawaki show at this point. I feel bad for Sarada and Mitsuki, but there's really not much they can do. Unless something major happens and they get some major power-up or something like that. Who knows? And lastly, going into the next couple of chapters, I'm wondering what's going to be happening with Amado and how he's going to be dealt with. Because it's pretty clear from this last battle that Naruto, Shikamaru, and Boruto are aware that Kawaki's karma is reawakened. So they're going to have some questions for Amado. And Sumire has been aware of what's going on, or what Amado wants to do to Kawaki anyways. So she might spill the beans to them as well. So, yeah, Amado, he's going to have some explaining to do. Because at this point, I'm pretty sure what's going to happen is that Naruto, Shikamaru, maybe Sai, or somebody else, maybe Sasuke, is going to confront Amado about what's going on. And with Boruto and Kawaki away, that's when Code's going to make his move. And while I think that they could possibly handle Code without his limiters taken off, once he gets his limiters off, it's game over. He's going to basically body every single person in that room. But I feel like Ada is going to have to convince Code not to kill Naruto, or at least hold off on killing him, because Kawaki is obsessed with Naruto, and literally Kawaki basically declared that anybody that threatens Hokage is going to be killed by him. That includes Ada as well, if Ada actually wants Naruto dead. So I think at some point Ada's going to have to try and convince Code not to kill Naruto, or hold off on it for a while. So yeah, it's going to be definitely interesting to see exactly how Code's going to get his limiters off. I feel like it's definitely going to happen at some point, probably in the near future, since we got to witness Code without his limiters taken off in battle. So we'll probably see Code with his limiters off in battle coming up. He's probably going to overpower everybody. Maybe Kawaki and Boruto somehow stand a chance against him. Who knows? I'm very interested to see what's going to happen in the Boruto manga the next couple of months, or at least in 2022. It's definitely going to be interesting to see. Alright, that's enough speculation for now, so that's all I got for today's video. So overall, this was a pretty good chapter. I'd say it's a 7.5 or 8 out of 10 chapter. I'm very curious to see what's going to happen next. But yeah, I'm looking forward to the rest of 2022 when it comes to the Boruto manga. Hopefully it's not slow like most of 2021 was. All this setup, I think, is actually paying off, so I'm very interested to see what happens next. So in the comment section down below, post your thoughts. What do you think of this chapter? Did you love it? Did you hate it? What do you think is going to happen next? How do you think Code is going to make his move? And how do you think Kawaki is eventually going to turn to betray Naruto, Boruto, and destroy Konoha? Post your thoughts in the comment section down below, and if you're new to the channel, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. And have a great day or night wherever you're at, guys, and peace.